Scrubs, welcome to Let's Build Computers. We're doing a rehousing and rebuild of this sort of gaming rig slash workstation. It's not actually used for gaming, it's used for heavy duty office work, but it's got mostly gaming components in it. Anyway, we're going to move this to a new case. We're replacing the motherboard, the CPU and the cooler. So we're more or less building a new computer with a load of parts from this one. So the first thing we've got to do is take all of this apart. So it's all very dusty and very grotty and dirty in there at the moment. So the first thing we're going to do is just take the whole thing apart, get all the parts out of it, and then we'll build a new machine with what parts we've got here. So we're going to crack on and take everything out. And so we'll see you after the cut. You work from that side, I'll work from this side. Screwed in on both sides. No. What's that? Kingston Hyprox. That's not bad. I've got one of those in my one. What size is it?
How is this?
Yeah, carrying unplugging stuff. Same deal as the other one, really, just more connectors. $240. That's all right. That's suitably decent.
That was quite easy. Where's the
Cool. That and that. So hard drive and the graphics card.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's the one graphics card, isn't there?
Well, not used to seeing one of those.
I get enough from that from my friends. They're like, oh god, like less than a million. Good guy, but
everyone knows someone like that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just right behind there.
Oh, where's that plugging in?
It's not plugged in. It's just stuck.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Hang on, I got it.
Cool.
Oh, you. No, there's another one.
Oh, I think that might.
It says the fan.
No. That does feel like it's connected to something.
Yeah.
Let's go vertical. Whoa. It's just caught around the back there. Or, oh yeah, no. It's plugged into this fan head around the back that's not connected to anything.
That's useful.
There you go, you should be able to pull that through.
Kind of see which one it is. There we go.
And one more. There we go.
That's good.
Go.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a screen.
Oh, it's cable tied to the back. Yeah, hold on a sec. Ew, who put the zip tie there? Go. Right, do you want to get the graphics card out?
Oh yeah. I haven't done a graphics card before, so I'm guessing it's just the
Yeah, so that should just pull out. You just got to make sure that you push the unlocking lever down on the bottom there, but that's already open, so that's between the pulling on the card and the pushing. There you go.
taking this gap out.
Yeah, that fella can come out as well. Right, that can now come out as well. All of that stuff out. Right. That is an unlocking affair. May as well leave it in there for now because yeah, we don't.
You got that?
In fact, we don't need to take any of that out because we've got a new motherboard, a new CPU, and a new cooler. So yeah, we'll take the. No, we've got RAM as well. No, that whole shooting match can stay in there for the time being. I'm not sure what's happening with any of this yet, but so for the time being, we'll leave it out. We'll leave it in there just so then it's stored.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't actually need anything else. So okay, well that was quicker than I thought. We're done with this one. Fine. Okay, I'll just chuck that down there somewhere. Okay, so we've now got a pile of components that we've pulled out of the old computer, combined with a couple of new bits that we've got that are all boxed up. One of them is this Fractal R5 case. So we're now going to build a new computer in here with all the bits that we've got. So let's open this thing up and start doing the prep work on it. So, okay, so first of all, we need the I/O panel. So that fella fits into the back here.
Yep.
So yeah, that way up, you've got it the right way up. So you need to clip that in the back. So have a go at doing that. That's cool. Make sure it's in evenly all the way around. I think this bottom corner might... Yeah, that's more like it. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now we need some standoffs for the motherboard. So... Oh, that's handy. That's a standoff screwer inner. So it's got hex at that end and then a Phillips on that end, so you can screw them in. Man, you get a lot in here. Right, standoffs. There. That's what we're looking for. Right, so what we do now, if you grab the motherboard, so pass it here, and what we do is we need to offer that up just so we can see where the standoffs need to go. So if we plop that in there, so now by looking at the screw holes, right, so firstly the one that's already in there, that one there, that doesn't feel like... Oh no, it is lining up with that hole. Just need to push in. Right, so we've got one there, one there, one there. So we've got that row there, and the one. So we've got a T-shape there, and then there, there, and there. So back out again. Whoop. Just pop that up there for a minute. Right, so we need that one, that one, that one. In fact, it looks like we need all the A points. Yeah. Except, did we need those two? No, except those two. So yeah, all of the A holes except those ones. So if you start, yeah. Just tighten those all up. You don't want to go too tight with these because this is just a tin back plate. These are made of harder metal, and it will just shred the thread out. And obviously, if you shear the bolt off, then that standoff is now useless, and you can't even put anything in there because the sheared bolt is sitting in the thread. So this plastic screwer upper is also really bad. The screwdriver keeps bending out of it, so that is really crap. It just keeps twisting out. GG, you tried. Right, okay, so those are our standoffs. So I think that's all the prep we need to do. The only other thing to watch out for as well is if you're going to fit an aftermarket cooler to your thing that has a backplate on it, you need to make sure that you need to either put that backplate on first, or the case needs to have a hole at the back of it. Most gamer cases will have a big fat hole here, so you can change the backplate. But watch out for that, because certainly in the old days that used to be an issue. I'm hungry. It's 20 minutes to lunch. Okay, right, so standoffs are in, so we can now drop this motherboard in. So, whoa, that's just going to go in there. Right, these back plates, because there's a fair bit of padding on ones like this one, once you put the motherboard in, you sometimes have to push it quite heavily toward the back. So, however, a lot of cases these days, one of the standoffs, normally the one that's pre-fitted, there we go, will have a little peg on it, so that now sits in place. In the old days, you used to have to sit there going, "Arr!" while you put a screw into it, which was a pain in the ass. Okay, right, that's in, so let's put some screws in. So let's quickly check. Some standoffs use the coarse threads, some use the fine, it varies. So let's quickly get one out and just see. Right, that's coarse threaded. So we want, there's a fine, there's a coarse. All right. There's one, there's the other. Right, screws into motherboard. Oh, hang on a sec, back up. I've got a standoff in the wrong place. There isn't actually a hole under there, so we can't actually put that one in. No, that's fine, we'll carry on. We'll just need to leave that standoff out. That's not the end of the world. This motherboard is just a little bit too short to get those other screws. Oh, we've got two types of screws here. No, we haven't, it's fine. I only need two on mine. Yeah. I'm going to take out that standoff because it doesn't need to be there. Right. I think we might be about to wish that we put the CPU cooler on first, just because push pins. Do you want to open that fella up and just see what kind of hold down system it has? I really hope it's not push pins. Okay, right, this one seems slightly better because it looks like what we can do is we put this fella on there, and then we place that on and screw into there. And this makes the push pins a lot easier to handle because we're only push pinning this bracket into place, and then we screw this on top of it, which is a lot easier, as you saw, than trying to fumble with the push pins with a block of metal on top of it. So, better than expected. Right, let's get these fitted now. So, we need to get the CPU in there as well, so that can come out. Alright, do you want to drop that CPU in there? So look for an arrow on it, and then the arrow, oh, you can't rely on the arrows here. Look for the two notches instead, so notch, notch, then notch and notch. So yeah, underneath, that's the one. And that will just drop in there, that's it. And then what you do, you just give it a little wiggle just to see that it's sitting in there nicely. and then you can lower the thing on top of it. Second attempt. Make sure that that's sitting under the screw. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they've got a lot more.
Quite a lot of tension on it, isn't there? Yeah. Right. Okay. So these push pins now. Where's the? Oh, there. So we've got slightly different sized holes here. These different holes are for different socket types. So this is 1150, then there's like 1151, 1155, and the hole spacing on them is slightly different, which is why we've got multiple holes. So let's figure out which ones we're using. Bang in the middle. Right, and there's cut corners on the inside and cut corners on here. So those are going to go in like that on the middle hole. There we go. So if you stick some in that side as well, it needs to go into the middle. Once I put that in, it should line it up. There we go.
Are the right wells at face?
No, the cut corners go in.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome to the world of pain that is push pins. Alright, and now these ones, these are the locking pins. So these go all the way through to the bottom, separate the bottom out so they can't pull out. And once again, we've got cut corners, so those are going to go on the inside. And now those just push down like that until they clonk into place. So yeah, cut corners on the top. And all the way down until it stops. So there we go. Yeah, that's an awful lot easier, being able to do that, and now we can just screw the cooler down on top of it. So we'll do that now. See, once you put the CPU cooler in, it gets in the way of everything. But the problem is it's a lot easier to fit the CPU cooler while there's nothing else in the computer because you've got all that elbow space.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we going to orientate this? So we want it to, so there's our fan. Our fan is pushing in that direction, so we want it to push there so it goes straight out this exhaust vent. So the fan goes on there, so that's going to go that way round like that. So that's going to be our setup. So we'll just sit that on top. Try not to press down. Right, in a sec, I'm just going to lean over. There's the hole. There, there. So we're using the inside holes. Now what fittings do we have? We've got 2 screws. It's those ones we use, yeah, because these are the AMD fittings. Right, so now what we need to do is just drop these in. Right, don't screw it down quite yet, just pick up the thread, basically. One sec.
Yeah.
If we go magnet to victory, and then you should be able to lower it in there. Bring the magnet down the screwdriver just so it's got a bit more strength there. Yeah, and watch out for it jumping onto the cooler. Good. Is that screwing into something now? Yeah? Okay, right, and then if you back out, and let's just make sure that that's good. Yep, that's sitting nicely, and it can wiggle about, so we know it's not crooked, we know it's not wonky or anything like that. Right, so now we just screw that down. So we can go all the way down to the stops now, and if we try and do that vaguely evenly just to even the load. So if you start...
Thermal paste already, like...
Yeah, yeah, there was thermal paste already on there, so... Mine has kind of gone down to a distinctive stop. Yeah. So yeah, good. And that's on there nicely. Good. Sorted. Right, fan. So our CPU fan header is there. So let's just undo that. And as we put the fan on, we'll just tuck the wire underneath it so it's out of sight. Ooh. Here we go. On CPU cooler. Bam! Let's take you out of the way for a minute. We'll come back to you later. Here we go. Okay. We can drop the RAM in there as well. So on this motherboard, where's the numbering? There it is. So it's 1, 2, so it's 1 to 4. We do alternate slots, which is why they're alternating colours. So we want slots 1 and 3, and those will just drop into place. Oh, do you want to put in your one first, since you're closer? Yeah, and then it's a bit of a mix. You want to the secret. Yeah, the secret is you pinch them together. Yeah, that's it, because that reduces the amount of downward force you need to use. And we need to be a little bit careful with this one, because where we don't have this standoff in place, this part of the motherboard can bend downwards, which is less than pleasant, but there's nothing that we can do about it because there's no hole there to put the standoff in. However, we do need to be super careful when we plug in the ATX power line, because that fella's stiff. So yeah. Okay, good, right, we're progressing. That's our platforming. So while we're just doing general prep work, our graphics card, we're going to put the graphics card, we can put it there, or we can put it there. That one is really low down, so my inclination is to go for the top slot. So let's take out, if you want to undo those two and just clear those 2 slots, and I'll have a look at what else we need next. Yeah, just take the magnet off. Easy. Yeah, and they can just go to one side somewhere. Good, that's that sorted. Okay, right, now we'll I think it's time to go upright now. There's no we could drop the power supply in, but then we immediately need to go upright anyway, so there's no point in doing that. Okay, do you want to start undoing those back bits? Yeah. Whoop. Really nice how these Fractal cases have got this acoustic padding on every single surface inside. Okay, right. So, we've got a lot of plumbing in here already by default. What else have we got? Have we got some? Oh yeah, we've got a fan controller in the front as well, which is what this array is all about. So we could connect the case fans up to that, but I would rather connect them up to the motherboard, because the motherboard's fan controller is automatic, so it will automatically step them onto high speed if they need to be. It's a shame not to use features that the case has, but the motherboard can do this job better, so never not, basically. Right, let's undo these and pull this through, and we can just quickly sort out what of this we actually need first of all. So, okay, USB 3, we want that. Whoop, can you hold that for me, sir? USB 2. HD audio. switch and power LED, hard drive LED. Want all of those. Reset switch. Okay, and then that is a 3-headed fan controller, which we're not going to use. So I'm going to tie that back up here. I've got a cubby hole I can jump into. Not really. No, fine. That'll just sit there. That's out of the way. Okay. Right. Our USB 3 is halfway up the motherboard on the other side, so that we want to separate out. I'm just going to tuck that on that side. And then this lot is all going to come out of there and go up into the bottom of the motherboard. So this lot can go back into that cabling. I'm just going to close the middle one just to hold it there, because then there's some others, because there's other bits that we're going to plumb into there as well. We'll leave that out for a sec so we can get all the power supply out. So now we spin it round. And drop the power supply in. So this, we can go upside down or we can go fan side up. I'm going to do this one right. It will be prettier for the cabling if we put it fan side down, because then this will be over here and it can just go straight through that hole. I prefer to do fan side up, so then the power supply isn't pulling in air from underneath the computer and that's all the dust. But then on the other hand, this thing is filtered. So yeah, let's go fan side down, because this is a cheap power supply. It is a Cooler Master, but it's still a cheap Cooler Master. It's not very pretty, so let's build for looks here. Right, and now is there anything that we need on this side? So firstly, can the auxiliary cable reach up the back? So I'm going to take that out just so we've got a bit more flexibility on this. And let's just feed that through. Now, if we go all the way up to the top, oh, this is looking good. And we come out the top up here and into there. Yes, that will reach, so that's fine. So, right, so none of these cables need to go out the front, so we can put all of this through the back. So, everything through the back. Whoop. Blah, 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 blah. And we'll just try and straighten those row of flaps a little bit. There you go. And what I might do actually, I'm going to attack it with my fabric tape just to get rid of our Fisher-Price colour scheme there. Just back this one out. This is not really necessary, but I can do it, so I will. Whoop. Fabric tape. Hello there.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So. That's a part for my bicycle. Okay, right, this fabric tape, or stick tape, is used for taping up hockey sticks and stuff like that. Really good for hiding cables, I've discovered. because unlike electrical tape, it's not shiny, so it doesn't look terror bad. Right, there we go. All this dust has stained the rubber. That will all come off. There we go, and that's got rid of that splash of colour. Nice. Lunch o'clock. All right. So we put that back up the top. Then, right, let's spin this round just so I can show the camera what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got CPU auxiliary cable going up there. It's only just long enough so we can't tie this back nicely, but that will just lay flat against there and it's not a problem. Then we want ATX power. That's going to go up there. To that point, we can see the ATX, back of the ATX connector there. So that's going to go in there and in there. Then we're going to need the PCI Express power. That's going to go about halfway down, so that's only going to go through the first one. Then we'll need, have we got two SATA chains here? Yes, we have. We don't need the Molex chain. We need one chain going all the way up to the top to the DVD drive. That's only just going to reach, but I think we'll get away with it. So that needs to go up through both of these as well. Oh. And then that one's going to go down low to where our drives are going to go, and that can go under those cables. Okay, right, so that's the basic setup at the back ready, and now we'll just post these through. That's going to go through that, that's going to go through that. This one needs to pull right the way up. I just need to reorder these cables so that everything will reach. We're kind of pushing the lengths of this power supply a little bit here. Oh, just about. And I wonder, our DVD drive is going to be there. Yeah, we'll go through the top hole for that. Oh, and finally, we've got our USB 3 lead. That's going to come out in there. This is going to have a big long loop in it, so I'm not going to put this in these cable ties, because otherwise we're going to have to put a nasty fold in it somewhere. Actually, I think we can do that. Yeah, that's going to be alright. We can fold that. And we can close those off. Then these are all going to motherboard. That's all going to go through the bottom. So that's going to go down there. And that, let's fold that back up. that can just sit down there in that void out of the way. Alright. So now we've got a lot of wires coming out in roughly the place they need to be. Good enough. Okay. I'm breaking for lunch. Okay, right, cool, let's carry on. So yeah, if you work on those drives, and I'll work on getting these wires connected up.
Out first.
Yeah, go for it. No problem there too, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, the only disadvantage of having it on the mat is that it slides a bit easily.
Yeah, but it's a bigger head. So
I can go back there actually.
It's one of those, just leave it in there and it's, yeah. The ones that just like...
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't really like them, to be honest. I find them more annoying than useful.
Is that the whole cage? There's some of the same.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, the annoying thing is, now you've got to find somewhere to put that. But it does clear up all that space in there. So yeah, and it's going to give us...
water cooler in there.
Yeah, you can stick a water cooler on the front. I mean, hell, if I were building in this computer, like if I was building in this case, a similar build to my one, I'd take both cages out, have my 120mm rad, my 240mm rad at the front, and I would just get them out, all my drives in the bay up there. So yeah, it's quite cool actually, because this comes out as well. You can take all these cages out, which is kind of cool. I'm not quite sure. Well, yeah, you could take that out as well if you didn't have a DVD drive.
You could just run off SSD.
And you could run just an SSD at the back, yeah. However, in my opinion, if you've got a really big water cooling setup, then it would be worthwhile.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you've got that little hardware, it does beg the question, why the hell are you building in a big case like this? But whatever.
Right, shall I take the cage out to mount to put the stuff in? Or?
Nope, those can just pop out like that. Yeah.
SSD on top.
Yeah.
How do you mount it?
So you'll want to take it out the 3.5-inch bit first. I think that one will fit it quite nicely. Yep.
There's only 3 screws in it.
Yeah. I'll grab you another one actually, just so we can put 4 on the new case, just for the sake of niceness.
Not like you in a shortage of screws.
Yeah. No, there we go. There's a 4th.
Thank you. Oh, I've never mounted an SSD, so I guess. But
yeah.
If it's in that way, that's in the back.
Yeah, we want the connectors at the back.
I guess it's just line up and hole and...
Yeah, that's right. You got it. Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting a magnet.
Yeah. They're basically laptop screws on those, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Hard drive LED.
Yeah. This is fun. Some magnetizing already. Yeah.
Power switch.
Right, it's not going
No. Oh yeah, that's way too big, isn't it? Yeah, no, my bad. That's let me grab a correct one.
That's like, why is this not going in? There we go.
Yeah, there we go. There's a matching one.
So, like, can you physically like break an SSD like via just smacking your computer, or is it quite?
Well, it's basically just electronics and chips in there. So, I mean, obviously, if you throw it into the ground, it's not going to do it any good. However, as far as we're generally concerned, it's shockproof.
It do better than the hard drive.
Yeah, exactly. To all intents and purposes, yeah, it's shockproof.
I've seen the prices for the ones that are like, I don't know how many terabytes it is.
Yeah, a lot,
It's like,
isn't
I
it?
saw one for £3 grand.
Ooh.
For now, they're only useful for running some games and just your operating system.
Yeah, for most, it's also like, some people swear by enterprise SSDs and stuff like that. It's like on a gaming rig, you don't need an enterprise SSD. The difference is that the enterprise ones are warranted for a lot more write cycles. So they're designed for people who fill it up and then delete everything several times a day. However, obviously on a gaming rig, you don't do that. In fact, on a gaming rig, the data on your computer realistically changes very little from day to day. So there's no need for an enterprise SSD. And yeah, in the benchmarks, they're fractionally faster, but not nearly enough for it to be significant.
Yeah.
Right, you need rubber mounts on those.
Oh, yeah.
So those grommets will go into work out which holes they go into. Yeah. I really hate designs like this. It's just, yeah, it's so much hassle.
I mean, it's a nice case, and one thing I'm not sure about is the way the drives go in, because if you look at here, it's going to scrape along the paint and all that.
Yeah.
It's not...
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, I guess, but I still question how useful drive trays are, because it's like, theoretically, you're not taking them in and out all the time. And if you are, then, yeah, you're in the wrong case to be doing that kind of thing. If you actually did change stuff out often enough to need toolless, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say, if you're taking it apart often enough to require true toolless case design, you should be using some kind of workbench case.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, I don't understand why all cases aren't toolless anyway. But I don't know.
I mean,
I haven't come to a
test bench for a hard drive. Like, test the hard drive,
Yeah.
and just take them around, but like, you still have to fit them in.
Yeah.
Alright, I've got them.
Okay, right. So yeah, those can slide in there and then get the DVD drive in as well.
I'll just run my phone.
Yeah, that other way around.
Yeah.
And then those 4 holes will line up with those. And one of these bags will have, I think those are the ones you want.
I know how this is going to end. There we go. Thought I was going to end up opening it and just go over it.
It would have been glorious.
How tight.
Yeah, I think as tight as it will go, I think, because the screw is stepped, so once you reach the end of the thread, it will stop anyway.
Yeah. Another thing that blows me out, my friend, is he's like, oh, I need more storage. I'm going to buy another 50 gigabyte
Yeah.
hard drive. No, just get one big one. It's not.
Yeah, I don't like people who run multiple drives. It's just so unnecessary. Bit lower, yeah.
Okay, there. So I had this person once. He had like 6 or something hard drives. And I was like,
Yeah.
right.
Or people who still have a love affair with RAID. It's just like, we don't need RAID anymore. DVD drive.
Top or bottom?
Top. Cool.
I thought I broke it for a second. Right. Do you just slide in? Let's trust this. Is it? Is that going along a rail? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes. No, it's not going to. No. It's, yes, it's not going to fall out. Yeah.
All right. Then I need to line it up with the front of the case.
Yeah.
Just shut the door and open. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. What screws do we need for?
The fine thread screws, which I think is the only packet we haven't opened.
There's a few packets. Definitely not. There's 2 that aren't opened. That'll be these ones.
That's fractionally better than it was. Yes, that's right. So we just want 2 of those on this side. We're not going to be that guy and screw it in on both sides. It's not like it's going to fall out, so.
I mean, yeah, okay, you could. Discs are mostly used for copies and stuff like that now, and it's not like as much as they used to be like DVD players.
Yeah, I just have USB DVD drives now.
Yeah.
So on the rare occasion when I need one, you just pull the USB one out, plug it into a USB port, put it back in the drawer when you're done. And the great thing about that as well is, of course, you can use that between multiple computers and laptops, so you only need one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then no one needs. Oh, well, actually, it's not going to come out in the computer's lifetime, actually. So yeah, bollocks to it. Do both sides. Right, I'm going to drop the graphics card in. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, that looks alright. Good stuff. Probably very rarely used, to be honest, but whatever. Which. What's blocking that? That's that. Okay, that's fine. That's going to come over to that. I think I'm fighting a losing battle trying to make these cables look nice. There's nothing I can do with a power supply that's not even slightly braided.
Mm.
Well, without putting in an awful lot of time and effort, which, yeah, I have limits. We've tidied up the worst of it, so. Stick that there. Go. And there's another power connector there, so if anything needs to be connected, there's just a spare one.
Did you connect the... Yeah, you did.
That's that. Right.
Fan,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we also need the auxiliary power at the top here. Right. Oh man, this one's going to be a bastard. Oh, we should have done this before we put the CPU cooler on.
Is it getting at your hand?
Yeah. There's no way I can do this without blocking the camera's view. Come on. Ah, bastard. Good enough. All right. That's in. That can go to sysfan 1.
Should I put the SATA cable within choosing?
Yeah, you can.
There you go. Oh yes. Yeah, they need to run between the motherboard and the don't they?
Yes.
Yes.
And all of our SATA connectors are about halfway up, so we want to go from about there-ish. How's that doing at the moment? Yeah, that's.
Shall I run the 90-degree one on the bottom and the one or
yeah, and the 90-degree connector can go at the bottom of the hard drive because the motherboard is all side mount, so we can't put any 90 degrees on that anyway. So.
Make sense to use both the black ones then as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Oh, just quickly, how set the. That's the one. Which one am I pulling?
That is the hard drive.
Okay, that's the hard drive. Yep, that's fine. I was going to say because we want to make sure that the SSD is on port 0.
That's the SSD.
That's that off. Ah. Good. Hello. Right, okay. And those are all just going to fold back like that. It's not really worth trying to get everything in there. Alright. What are you? You're a fan. Somewhere. Right, where's our sysfan? Sysfan 3? Sysfan 2? Yeah, it's got to go down the bottom. Can that reach all the way across the board then, I wonder? Oh. Right. Oh yeah, that's got pretty good reach on it actually. Right. Right. That's stretching across a little bit, but it's more obvious at the moment while this panel is off. Once there's a black panel here, you'll barely be able to see that from the other side. So in fact, I think we can put this back on now. So that goes in there. Yep. And those cables all look good. Whoop. Oh, could you steady it for me, please? That's not right signals. Why isn't that? Is this a slider? Am I going mad here? Oh bollocks, we're laying it down. Sometimes these are easier when it's on its side. Problem is, I'm not sure if this is a... Yeah, no, it is a lay down job. It's just the panel isn't quite straight. There we go. That's why I didn't want to go. Is that... Yeah, that's fine. It's just a very thick side panel. Oh. Barely looks like there's anything in there. Okay, so there's our completed interior. So obviously we've got a little bit of an attack of the Fisher-Price cables because this power supply is completely unbraided. There's not a huge amount we can do about that without extensive work on the power supply, which I'm not going to do with it today. Realistically, if this was going to be a more show-oriented computer, we'd just put a better power supply in, which is something that will probably happen at some point later in its lifetime. But in the meantime, this Cooler Master 500 is good enough to power this computer quite happily, and all the other components are connected. So we've actually got a fairly nice tidy finish in there, and with this shiny new case, this computer's got a lot of potential for future upgrades. So we're going to go ahead and get all Windows and various other software installed on this, and it'll be good to go. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now. Just spotted something. What's wrong with this picture? I'll give you a hint, it's at the bottom. Power supply's not screwed in.
I was going to ask you that, but I thought you had done it.
No, I completely forgot. However, well, hopefully you can't see that in the shot. Otherwise I'm going to have to put a little amendment in saying, by the way, we did spot that we hadn't screwed in the power supply.